Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the highlights, you've heard the rumors, but now it's time to get the real scoop. We pull back the curtain on the world of sports entertainment and give you the unfiltered truth. From the biggest pay-per-views to the latest shocking headlines, you're locked in for the ultimate wrestling discussion. This is Between the Ropes, only on the Empty the Bench Network. Now, here's your host, Kristie Wilson.
Hey, welcome to a brand new episode of Between the Ropes. I'm your host. My name is Kristie Wilson. He's not the best in the world. I am. I'm just kidding. I will be talking about Punk on today's show, amongst other topics that I have. So let's get down to the business at hand. There is the ticker right there. You can follow BT, follow the show. You can follow this network. You can follow me. Another big one. As I mentioned the show on social media, you can follow Between the Ropes on @BTRETB on all social media platforms. And the big one, of course, is youtube.com/ETB network. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We have achieved one goal. We hit 1,100 subscribers. Now we continue to march towards the goal of 4,000 watch hours. That way we get to do all kinds of awesome stuff on this network, like bonus episodes of the show. That's one example. And also, if you want more content, you definitely want more content. Like I said, youtube.com/ETB network. You can check out stuff. We got Zanzinger's Part 2 coming up tomorrow. If you want a really good interview, Press Row did an interview recently with a Golf Insider. Let me see if I can get to it, because it totally slipped my mind. But now Nick Morgeson and Callum McClurg on Press Row interviewed Alan Shipnuck on they learned a lot about live golf and everything like that. That interview is on our YouTube channel, so check that out if you are a golf fanatic or you're just curious about all kinds of things. So there you go on that. So let's get to the business at hand. Of course, the reason I'm going to do this, and I did this last week, but actually, it's different. WrestleMania 42 review is today, and let's just say it was a tale of two nights. Definitely a tale of two nights. Night one, what the fuck was that? First of all, certain matches didn't even hit the 10-minute mark, which was stupid. Especially the one match that I think this pissed me off way more than anything, which is Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer. By the way, fuck you, Liv Morgan. You ain't shit. I don't know why you won. I get you're a Royal Rumble winner. I don't give a fuck either way. So there's that. But that match went 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Didn't even hit 7 minutes. What the fuck? That's what I want to know. What the fuck is going on with that? And I know people were not looking forward to night one's main event, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, but clearly they had decided to pivot on the whole storyline involving Pat McAfee, and this is where this second topic ties into this one, which is it actually wasn't McAfee who was supposed to be at Orton's side and playing a role in this main event match. It was actually supposed to be Aleister Black kind of playing the Karrion Kross role of whispering things into Randy Orton's ear and Orton getting fucked. It's basically Aleister Black playing mind games on Randy Orton, because the original story, from what I heard, was actually Cody was not supposed to walk out of WrestleMania as the champ. It was supposed to be Orton walking away with world title reign number 15. But that didn't happen because McAfee got put into this, and it's the massive amount of negativity that this whole thing received. As I go back to this banner, excuse me. Sorry if you hear coughing throughout the show. I'm still getting over my cold. I'm still coughing a bit, but don't worry about it. Just giving you folks a word of warning on that one, just so you know, so you don't panic. But no, it was actually supposed to be, like I said, supposed to be Aleister Black at Randy Orton's side, and Orton was supposed to walk out of Mania with that 15th World Championship reign. But because McAfee got put in there, and the negativity, just a massive amount of negativity, including from yours truly here, it was decided McAfee was going to get booted out of this. So yeah, he got taken care of. Jelly Roll played a factor in this. And the reason why McAfee got put into it wasn't just Ari Emanuel. There was the promise of a main event tag team match at Backlash, which is going to be May 9th. But because of just the massive amount of negativity and the constant comments about should celebrities be involved in WrestleMania events, that sort of thing. And even Jelly Roll admitted, even he knew he and McAfee were not supposed to be a part of this. So that whole thing got scrapped. And Cody Rhodes walked out of WrestleMania as your WWE Undisputed Champion. Night 2, definitely better. Definitely better. Well, I'm going to go back to night 1. We did have one major return. Nikki Bella wasn't able to compete. And based on the video she posted, her ankle was so fucked up. I mean, I was just like... But Paige, or if you knew her in AEW under her actual name, Saraya, came back. She and Brie Bella are your WWE Women's Tag Team titles. And I think, this is just a guess on my part, I think the Bellas might turn on Paige when Nikki gets medically cleared. We'll see, though. We'll see. But night 2, I'm going to go back to night 2. Definitely better than night 1. Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley. Look, it is what it is. But Rhea Ripley is your champion. She got some help from her buddy Io Sky. Yeah, they are having to go their separate ways because Rhea's now on SmackDown. And I'll get to Io's situation a little later on in the show. But like I said, night 2 definitely different. The man whose shirt I'm wearing, CM Punk, his main event match with Roman Reigns was insane. I mean, I honestly think this is a match where it could have gone either way. I really think either one of them could have walked out with the belt. And Roman Reigns walked out with the title. He's World Heavyweight Champion. And I know people are probably moaning and groaning like it's the right decision, but we don't want him holding it hostage for 3.5 years like he did with the Undisputed title before Cody Rhodes finally finished the story. But other factors that made this WrestleMania, I think, very problematic was too many commercials, not enough wrestling. So many commercials, it made me, if you were watching the NFL draft show that I was on Thursday night with all the guys, including Tom Albano and all that, I mean, this was talked about and hinted at a little bit. It became, as Tom said, commercial mania. What else is there? What else is there to call it? So this felt very, very, like I said, it was just a tale of two nights. One sucked and the other was a heck of a lot better. It felt more like WrestleMania. Night 2 did than night 1. Night 1 felt like a bland, boring episode of SmackDown. Like I said, night 1, the matches were not very long. And night 2, I guess they just figured, you know what? Let it go on as long as humanly possible. And that's what they did. But another thing, this got a little bit, the thing about this WrestleMania and another topic on here kind of factors into this too, is YouTuber Ariel Helwani went off on this. I know I spelled mania wrong in the banner. Give me a break. I don't know why. But I'm going to be very honest about this. He's called it soulless, and you know what? I think Ariel Helwani is right about that. It did kind of come across as soulless. It's like it seemed to confirm that personal feeling I had, that it just didn't have that element of didn't have much of an element of excitement to it. It mostly felt kind of bland. That's what it really felt like. It felt really bland. And I feel like if it's supposed to be the showcase of the Immortals, it's supposed to be the biggest wrestling show of the year, then you got to give us fans what we're asking for. We want great matches, great moments, incredible I mean, we want everything. We want everything, including the kitchen sink. And for Ariel Helwani to call it soulless, I mean, he makes a valid point. He definitely makes a very valid point. Now, there were some really cool moments. I mean, we had Danhausen out there with the little mini Danhausens in the ring and kicking Kit Wilson in the balls, or actually punching him in the nuts. So there was that moment that was absolutely hilarious. And then we had a beautiful moment with Bianca Belair coming out, looking absolutely gorgeous in blue, revealing that she and her husband Montez Ford are expecting their first child together, which was beautiful. It was so sweet. And she took off the robe, finally revealed the baby bump. She's 6 months pregnant. Bianca looked like she was glowing. She was absolutely glowing. I know she's gonna miss the fans. I'm sure there were plans for her if this didn't happen. But she was also recovering from a finger injury, rehabbing that. And now she's got more of a reason to stay home, as she and Montez are having a little baby. And it's going to be so cool. So she is now on maternity leave and everything. And that was just a really super sweet moment. It definitely was. So, much love to Bianca and Montez Ford, as they're expecting a little bundle of joy. It's so sweet. Now, get off this. Now, I'm going to get to who I'm wearing on my shirt. It's CM Punk. Now, this ended up happening. This is where I'm probably going to be very angry about this. It turned out there was a fan at the hotel they were staying at in Vegas, started harassing Punk's wife, AJ Lee. And Punk had to step in. He slapped the phone out of the person's hand. It told him to stop. He got mad about it. But if you think about it, AJ Lee is Punk's wife. That's the woman he loves. He vowed to love, honor, and cherish her till death do them part. Probably is very protective of her. And I don't blame him for this or doing that. He is legit. He had every legitimate reason, because this dude would not stop. And it made me think about, we know about, all the TKO shit that's going on, especially concerning releases, which I will get to in this show. I will definitely get to that in the show. And I also have a lot to say about that too. It has caused conversation. You think about it this way. TKO and WWE claiming to making, record profits, yet they can't seem to afford security for a lot of the wrestling talent, especially, like, it wouldn't hurt if you had some. I've seen video of Asuka getting harassed by fans, Stephanie Vaquer getting harassed by fans. Rhea Ripley even put on her Instagram stories, you really don't want her to turn into that in-ring character. You do not want Demi Bennett to turn into Rhea Ripley and basically rip your head off. That's what you don't want. Close his blinds, lights fucking me right now. Sorry about that, everybody. Apologies to all 126 people who are watching right now. But I honestly think TKO can afford to dish out the money to hire security for a lot of the top level talent, because people like Punk, people like AJ, Asuka, Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer are getting hassled in places like hotel lobbies, airports, and all this other shit. I mean, they deserve, someone like, say, Bailey deserves to stand in line at her local Starbucks to grab coffee and not be hassled by a fan wanting an autograph or picture taken. Even if they are polite, let's think about it. They're human beings and they deserve to be left alone to go about their business however they see fit. I mean, these sort of stories upset me. I mean, there's even people have even gotten so weird. They're so freaking weird that they've ended up finding out where some of these wrestlers even live. There's a video on TikTok right now that I've watched several times of these two losers showing up at the front gate of Matt Hardy's home in North Carolina. It turns out, if you follow Matt's wife, Rebby, on TikTok, she talks about this, saying, look, nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this. This isn't Hollywood. We have bus tours. Go and see where all these famous people live. Look, not everyone lives in like LA, New York, Miami. I mean, that is what those two losers did by going up to the front gate of the Hardy family compound, which has been used for segments of AEW, TNA, and WWE. It doesn't mean you can go there and be like, hey, Hardy boys, where are you? That's not it. That's Matt and his family, Matt Hardy and his family's home, their sanctuary. That's their private place where they can do whatever they want. Where there's watch movies, play pinball machines, video games, have family dinners. That's not for fans out there to go there and say, hey, can I get a picture? Can I get an autograph? I swear to God, I'm a wrestling fan, and I'm almost embarrassed by that when seeing the behavior of a lot of these crazy idiots who feel entitled to go up to a wrestler like a CM Punk or an AJ Lee and hassle them and wanting autographs and pictures. Look, if you want a fan interaction with a wrestler so bad, pay the money necessary to go to the official meet and greets and play at events like WrestleMania or, let's say, Fanatics Fest, which is coming up in July. If you want it that bad, pay the money for it. And then you can get your official picture taken with the wrestler. You get an autograph photo, that sort of thing. Don't hassle these people in places like hotel lobbies, airports, restaurants, their local coffee place that they like to go to. Just don't do that. Leave them the fuck alone. Because this is getting ridiculous. It's going to get to a point, somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody is seriously going to get fucking hurt. And wackos like these fans who do this shit, like hassling AJ Lee and CM Punk in a hotel or finding Matt Hardy's home in North Carolina, at least finding his front gate. That's wacky and it's weird and it's wrong. Oh, hi KB. He makes a valid point here. Wrestling fans forget the people you see on TV are just that, people like you and me. Thank you. I mean, holy shit. And KB, that's a very, very valid point. These are human beings who deserve to live their life. Like Bayley deserves to go to her favorite coffee place and get her favorite coffee order. Stephanie Vaquer deserves to have peace and quiet wherever she. I mean, look, they're human beings. They don't owe you anything. They put their bodies on the line for you, for our entertainment. We should just appreciate them for what they do and not go buck wild every time we see them in public and just go, oh, I gotta get a picture. I gotta get an autograph. Grow the fuck up. That's all I gotta say to all you wacky, weird psycho fans out there who feel so damn entitled. I'm sorry. That's disgusting. Now, I'm gonna get off this because I think that fired me up. That definitely fired me up. Now, something else ended up happening here. Now, someone on the Squared Circle Reddit subpage, I can't believe I'm reading this shit because I don't care for Reddit. I think Reddit fucking sucks. So, looks like I got a comment. Hold on a minute. We're back to the past. Some of these wrestling fans need to have a relationship with soap and water and toothpaste. Yes, definitely. They definitely need to have a relationship with soap and water and toothpaste. So there we go. Thanks, KB. Now, like I said, someone on I think it's a Squared Circle Reddit subpage. I'm not a Reddit fan. I don't like Reddit, if I'm being completely honest. The only thing I like about it is the Am I an Asshole subreddit page that gets published in like People magazine or something like that. But Squared Circle, whoever this individual is, I'm sorry. I think this is rather ridiculous. Basically, someone called user Cato Macabre, if I got that wrong, I'm sorry, says in this post, in what seems to be an eminent split between AEW and Pro Wrestling Tees, the whole merch design team, and he names names, got laid off today. But it turned out, here's the big problem with this post. The guy didn't actually have any confirmation. So It says the team designed exclusively AEW and everything released on Shop AEW was designed by them, but they worked for Pro Wrestling Tees, so them being laid off is a direct consequence of WWE or AEW ending their partnership with Pro Wrestling Tees. This person claims, I had the pleasure to be in the AEW merch design team and work alongside them. They generally are, in my opinion, the best artists you can find in the pro wrestling world. And I'm very shocked, sad, and a bit angry that they were just cut one day to another. Of course, things might change and they might be hired by AEW themselves at some point soon, but so far it's not looking like it. And I just thought they deserved that people who might not have known put a name behind the merch you've seen in the past couple of years and their work celebrated. How about try Things That Never Happened for 1,000 Alex? I think I have the right music for that one. If I can get to it, which I know it's up here somewhere. Well, this is what I got to say to that person who posted that.
Dumbass. I'm a dumb.
Yeah, you are a dumbass, by the way. Like I said, I'll take Things That Didn't Happen for 1,000 Alex, and here is the reason why. Here it is right here, actually. All right. Now, here's the thing, and I have it right here on my phone. This got disputed by none other than Pro Wrestling Tees themselves. They put this on X as the person who made the Reddit post circulating has no knowledge of our business. Nothing on that post is true except that we unfortunately told some of our contracted designers that we would not need them for as many AEW designs anymore. Some of the AEW designers are still contracted. Nothing has changed otherwise, and we are still fulfilling merchandise for AEW, and that is from Ryan Barkin, who's the owner of Pro Wrestling Tees. So, whoever you are a moron. Whoever you posted that shit on Reddit, Jesus Christ, what are you thinking? What makes you think it was right to post that when you had, like the post said, no confirmation, absolutely no confirmation? How much of an idiot do you have to be to say that shit? You just had the owner of Pro Wrestling Tees pretty much debunk your ass. I don't like this sort of stuff. I would rather hear it directly from the horse's mouth than some jerk behind a keyboard, basically just typing up some shit that he doesn't know anything about. So, whoever you are on Reddit, fuck you. That wasn't right. You damn well know it wasn't right. And you had to, and the owner of Pro Wrestling Tees had to debunk what you said. I think AEW and Pro Wrestling Tees still have a contract or are still doing business. Clearly, it must be profitable. There's always that. So, to the loser on Reddit who posted that shit, you fuck off. Just fuck off. And if you still love AEW, so of course shopaew.com has all the great AEW stuff. This is not AEW, but I have a lot of it. Pro Wrestling Tees, chef's kiss. They have it's great stuff. I can be honest, it is great stuff. Now, next topic is going to be one of those when someone doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Rob Parker on his Fox Sports radio show, The Odd Couple with Kelvin Washington, recently start questioning people's interest in pro wrestling. I hate to break it to you. This is what he basically said. I can't understand how grown men are still into wrestling. We all went to the zoo. We all went to the circus as kids, right? And at some point, Kelvin, that is in his co-host, Kelvin Washington, you grow out of it. I just cannot get over how these older guys who are sports fans live and die by that stuff, but they have this soft spot for wrestling. And they're walking around with the belts and they're going to a watch party at a sports bar. I need somebody to explain it to me because I don't understand it. Well, maybe it's not for you to understand, Rob Parker. There are some things, like I've been a wrestling fan since I was maybe around 5 years old. I'm now 50. I haven't really grown out of it. And I'm a grown adult woman here. It's the same with a lot of people that I know. There's some in their 40s. It's just something that has stuck with them for a long time. It reminds them of childhood. But I feel like that's not enough of an explanation for someone like Rob Parker, who was notorious, even back when he was at ESPN, debating with Skip Bayless on First Take. He always sounded like a whiny complainer. And this sounds like something, he was just looking for something to complain about. And there you go. And this ended up getting the attention, ironically, of Dave LaGreca and Tommy Dreamer on Busted Open Radio. So they decided to talk about it. Good for them. So, ugh. So here it is. Dave LaGreca said this. He goes, I'm an older man. I'm going to be 55 in July. I'm a lifelong pro wrestling fan. I never grew out of it. I've always loved it since the day I first saw it in 1982 to right now in 2026. There are so many levels to being a pro wrestling fan. And that's a great point that Dave LaGreca made. He continues with, last time I checked, football is a kid's game. Baseball is a kid's game. Basketball is a kid's game. How do I know? Because when I was 8 years old on the playground, I would play basketball, I would play football, and I was also a baseball player in Little League. So it's a kid's game, but because of your love and passion for a child's game that you've been covering for 40 years, baseball is a child's game. You have made a living and a career writing and talking about a children's game for 4 decades. Fantastic. And here's another thing from LaGreca. He said, I've made a career, bought a home, and raised a family talking about professional wrestling like you've made a career talking about a children's game. Hopefully you hear this, and maybe even by the end of today's show, we could sit down and have an adult conversation about the childish things that you said about professional wrestling. Which he's 100% right about that. And KB has a great point here. Says, I think if you like something, you like it. Nobody should be judged because you like something. Exactly. That's what Rob Parker's comments sounded like. It sounded very judgmental. It just sounded like he was just being super judgmental. He sounds judgmental on practically every topic. I've listened to him for a long time, watched him on First Take. I've listened to The Odd Couple on Fox Sports Radio. And it just comes across to me as a Mr. Negativity, a whiny ass complaining bitch. That's pretty much what he is. Now, Tommy Dreamer stepped in on this, and he's had a career in wrestling for 3 decades, pretty much. And he goes, I love it when people say, yeah, it's fake. I'd like to be, if you only knew, or, well, you're not really hitting each other. Well, if you only knew, listen, I get it. Wrestling isn't for everybody. Like, wrestling is not for everybody. Step into the ring and we'll show you. Touch the ring or touch the ropes. Try to run the ropes. This is what we do every day. Now jump off without getting hurt. Look at the match from last night. Climb to 15, 20 feet and fall backwards onto a table. He also says, trust me, I get it. There's a whole other generation that don't. And that's a great point. So there you go. So, even Dave LaGreca also pointed out Rob Parker's dismissal even extended to people like him who have built careers around wrestling. So basically, like I said, Rob Parker is a whiny bitch. He always has been. He always will be. This is the same guy for all you Patriots fans, including Ben Cruz. You're going to hate Rob Parker. Rob Parker is the biggest Tom Brady hater in the world. He is. To me, pro wrestling is passion. I met my future wife through yes, KB, you met the love of your life, Anita, through common interest in pro wrestling, and it just sparks flew from there. Definitely. So basically, Rob Parker, you just stick to talking about what you know. Stay out of the whole pro wrestling things. People like me, people like KB, and any one of the 131 people watching me live right now, we definitely have something to say about it. I haven't outgrown it, and I probably never will, which is fine. Guess what? I don't want to, because I love pro wrestling. That's why I do a show like this. It's because I love it. That's the big thing. Now, another big thing that came up, and I was kind of surprised by this, which is, woo! Yes, the first wrestler who really caught my attention when I first started watching pro wrestling at maybe around 5 years old is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And he was all that and more, but I'll get into that another time if it ever comes up. Yeah, Ric Flair, he gave an interview recently where he said he wouldn't be surprised if Tony Khan buys WWE one day. Now, I know I talked about this on a previous episode where basically it was talked about Tony Khan had a company that was going to try and see if they could bid for WWE back in 2023 before TKO, who I have plenty to say about, bought it up, and now you see what the WWE product is on your TV screens and all that. But Ric Flair had plenty of great things to say about Tony Khan and said he thinks it's a possibility. Someday it could happen. Oh, excuse me. I don't honestly know. I think TK is really, he's just really into the whole thing. He's very dedicated to AEW, wanting to build that brand up, build the company up so that eventually, maybe someday, AEW could be in play, could end up in, and this is going to sound absolutely insane coming from someone like me, have big pay-per-view events in places like, oh, I don't know, Madison Square Garden. If James Dolan is not an idiot, well, unfortunately he is, so I don't know. Maybe Madison Square Garden, Barclays Center, the Chase Center in San Francisco. Maybe, I mean, shit. This is gonna sound absolutely insane coming from me. Maybe AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure Jerry Jones wouldn't mind. Speaking of which, I said Jerry Jones. I said it, and now here it is.
That damn cowboy.
And since I mentioned Ric Flair, yeah. So, I mean, if TK did buy WWE, I'm sure, and I've talked about this, I would love to see it actually work out. I really would, but I think TK should stick with AEW right now because that brand, because of all the bullshit going on with WWE, with TKO, AEW is starting to get more eyes on them. And I feel that that's a good thing. I mean, look, I'm a firm believer in that. There's plenty of promotions for people to like and enjoy. If you like New Japan, TNA, Major League Wrestling, AEW, WWE, Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. So many promotions out there, and you can watch whenever you want and check everything out and see what you like. Variety is the spice of life, as they always say. But enough of that. Another thing happened. Now this next topic ties into a topic I talked about last week. You know how I mentioned there's TNA, Slammiversary, and Forbidden Door both scheduled on the same day, June 28th. Well, this ended up coming up, and this almost caused my jaw to hit the floor. This event is set for the day before. WWE's Clash of Champions is officially set June 27th in Saudi Arabia. So I'm guessing, and I hate bringing up this, I really don't like the idea of bringing up the conflict in Iran, but I'm going to. I guess things probably will have settled down by that point to where WWE feels comfortable wanting to have Clash of Champions in Saudi Arabia. June 27th, that is, like I said, the day before AEW's Forbidden Door pay-per-view and TNA Slammiversary, which are the day after. This scheduling thing, it sounds fishy, shady, suspicious, whatever you want to call it. I did think something tells me, I guess WWE felt that, you know what, we've made the deal with Saudi Arabia. There's still time left on the deal, so we might as well put Clash of Champions in Saudi Arabia. But this feels like counter-programming. Definitely feels like counter-programming. Do I like it? Nope, I don't. Do I like the fact Saudi Arabia? I think a lot of you have watched me long enough know how I feel about that. I said this one time, is signing a deal with Saudi Arabia is like signing a deal with the devil. And I meant every word of it. I don't like this. I feel Clash of Champions should have been moved out of Saudi Arabia and put somewhere else. But you know what? You want to do it in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia? Go right ahead. That's all I got to say. Go right ahead. But I still think it sucks. Now, I'm going to give a quick shout out to the 134 people watching me live. Hello. I hope everyone's enjoying the show. Now, I'm going to get to, this is the big topic that it's been dominating my timeline on Twitter, and I'm sure any other wrestling fan on Twitter who follows wrestling pretty religiously, like we want the scoop. We definitely want the scoop. We want to know things. This is the big thing, and this gets people angry every single time this happens. We had WWE cuts and releases. Alba Fire and Zoe Stark, whose names you see on the banner, 2 of the names. Another one has caused definite outrage, and that is Kairi Sane. But the thing with her, this is what kind of pissed a lot of people off. Kairi was in a storyline with Asuka being, just horrible to her. And they had they had the storyline going on with Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, of course. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley have had part ways because of Rhea being on SmackDown and being the women's champion on that brand. So Io has to go, would have been, I guess this was the storyline, is can Io save Kairi from the tyrannical Asuka? Well, now that storyline is pretty much cut off because Kairi Sane was let go. Her contract supposedly expired. So she's pretty much, she doesn't have to deal with the 90-day non-compete clause in the contract saying that she's going to not compete anywhere else. See, she could go back to Japan and either be with Stardom or promotion Marigold, which is another all-women's promotion in Japan. And other names that ended up making it, Nikki Cross, or pretty much the whole freaking Wyatt Six got released, especially, and Nikki Cross, I can understand her case. Her husband, Damian Mackel, who many WWE fans remember as Killian Dane, and now is Big Damo on the Indies. He recently signed with Major League Wrestling, so she might go there to be with him. I think that might be a possibility. But yeah, the whole goddamn thing, I mean, thank God for, Nico Campanelli, Tom Albano bringing this to my attention. I mean, I would not have talked about this if it weren't for those two, so thank you. It's what, Tom said it best in the BTR chat. He said, "Is TKO's good old we need record-breaking profits cut every one day?" And the list is crazy with, everyone, Dexter Loomis, like I said, the whole Y6, Andre Chase, Eric Rowan, Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, and they really, Kairi Sane released this is the full list. Sean Ross Sapp posted this. I mentioned Kairi Sane. I mentioned the Y6. Other ones, the Motor City Machine Guns. Someone posted a tweet. It put 2 and 2 together. 6 days after the 90-day non-compete clause expires, there's a show coming up in July for AEW Dynamite in Detroit. Do the Motor City Machine Guns appear and become all elite? That is a possibility. They got, I guess I mentioned Alba Fire. Zoe Stark, that's a crazy one because, she's had injury issues, but she had just been medically cleared and was probably scheduled for a comeback. But that's not going to happen, so I don't know what's going to happen with her. Apollo Crews, Santos Escobar. One person, spoke up about this. That was Zelina Vega on, I think it was a Twitch channel. She spoke up about it and even decided to rip Sean Ross Sapp a new one for basically reporting it before she'd even heard anything about it. But look, he's just doing his job. I'm not the biggest Sean Ross Sapp fan. In fact, I think he's a doofus, but he is a journalist and he's just doing his job. That's what he heard. And it wasn't just Zelina Vega. It was also Aleister Black. I guess in this case, he left AEW. I don't know on what terms he left that company on, but now a year after coming back to WWE, he's out of a job again. So I don't know what's going to happen with him or Zelina. You got, here's another big disappointment. Some WWE Legends and Future Greats alumni, like Tyra May Steele, the season 1 winner on the women's side, had been at NXT, then went to Evolve. And I guess it just, I don't know, it just didn't work out. That's just what really sucks. Serena Linton, I think she was a protege of Bubba Ray Dudley, and he was he was very fond of her, that sort of thing. And this was just, holy fucking shit. Just mad. This is just not exactly, wasn't on, every time this sort of thing happens, there's outrage and everything like that. I feel like a high level of, there's just disappointment here. And someone who was expressing that I think has similar disappointment to what I'm feeling right now is Jonathan Coachman, who posted this on Twitter. I think it was yesterday. It was yesterday, and I'm going to read his tweet right here. It says, "Word is that there is a meeting with WWE talent today, and a ton of talent is going to be laid off." This was posted yesterday, by the way. "It's all TKO's decision. I encourage you to watch our Coach and Bro episode from yesterday. Me and Vince Russo discussed exactly this." Yeah, check out that episode, by the way, and both guys make valid points. Say what you will about, say, Vince Russo, for example. You can say he's a dickhead or whatever, but he and Coach made great points in that episode. I think I watched the whole thing, and I was honestly surprised, but I had to agree with them. Coach continues with, if house shows existed, this all wouldn't happen to this extreme. All TKO sees is if you are on TV, you had value. If you don't mean anything. The floodgates are open for AEW, TNA, Juggalo, JCW, lunacy to really take a step forward. JCW is the promotion Vince Russo works for, and I've watched a few episodes. And some of the JCW stuff is actually better than most episodes of SmackDown, if I'm being 100% honest. I think it's really good. Like Violent J as an in-ring character is fantastic. I really like him a lot. So that was Coach talking about that sort of stuff. I mean, holy shit. And like I said, I watched some of that. I watched that episode of the Coach and Bro with him and Vince Russo. Valid points on everything. I mean, I can't help agreeing with that. I mean, WWE can claim record profits yet cut the talent. I think I know one Twitch streamer in particular posted a video that I think you can find on Twitter or whatever. He says it just seems like WWE is hoarding talent, that they don't know they can't book them right, they can't put them in the correct storylines, that sort of thing. I mean, is it fair? No, I don't like it. WWE's got to figure some shit out here. So this sort of stuff, like, let's face it, the Kairi Sane releases caused the hashtag We Want Kairi to trend on Twitter. Last time I looked, is like the fourth highest trending topic worldwide, because people are upset about this, especially with her, because they were like, wait a minute, she was in a story getting yelled at by Asuka like a mother scolding her damn child. Yeah, it's the second highest trending. I mean, it's just check my Twitter account right now. Second highest. It's number 2 trending topics on Twitter worldwide. Number 2. That's crazy. I mean, holy shit. This is nuts. And I hate it when this talent gets released, because I felt like they had more to offer. All right. Fuck you, TKO. Fuck you. Especially you, Ari Emanuel. Fuck you too. But now we're going to get to some good parts of the show, and let me be clear about one thing. One, I'm going to speak very fondly of one, and the other, I'm just going to destroy him. Let's start with part 1. The ruler of WWE is my wrestler of the week. Why, you may ask? I know he's new to the main roster. I get it. But he's definitely making an impact. I mean, geez, the guy you see in my comments, KB, he does the Oba strut. That Oba strut, that part of his entrance, everyone loves it. Everyone chants his name. It's clear Oba Femi, I mean, he has just grown and developed and evolved before everyone's eyes. From the moment you see him, you're like, wait a minute, what is this dude with this accent here? But clearly there was more to him than meets the eye. He's strong. He's insanely athletic. And he's so fearless. I mean, like, he's kind of like Darby Allin. He's zero fucks. He gives this many fucks. Zero. This guy is clearly making an impact. People are loving him. They, like I said, they chant his name. People imitate him doing his entrance when he does the strut. He just, I don't know. He's been NXT champion. He's been NXT North American champion. He's had great matches against people like Tony D'Angelo, Ricky Saints. I mean, he holds his own against literally anybody, and he doesn't. And he just is amazing. His match against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I mean, I've talked about how the storyline is. Like, they want to kill each other. They want to tear each other apart limb from limb and all that good stuff. Well, these two wasn't a long match, but it was probably one of the more memorable ones from WrestleMania. Is if you think Brock Lesnar was going to F5 Obafemi 10 times in this match and make him stay down, no, that was not. Obafemi was not going to let that happen. He hit Lesnar with a choke slam, and then he hit him with his finisher, the fall from grace, and he won. And Allegiant Stadium just exploded. The pop Obafemi got for beating Brock Lesnar, to where Lesnar took his gloves off and all that stuff. Unbelievable. I mean, Obafemi proved he could hold his own even against someone well known for snapping the winning streak of The Undertaker. I mean, Femi is absolutely freaking fearless. Lala! Hey, Lala! My friend Lala. She goes, In my opinion, Obafemi is the next star who gets the belt. We just need to see. Yes, exactly, Lala. I agree completely. And I think we know who Obafemi wants to go up against next because he called him out on Raw. Well, actually, on the WrestleMania post show, he called out Roman Reigns. So give it to me now. Inject it in my veins. Give me Obafemi versus Roman Reigns, World Heavyweight title on the line, SummerSlam 2026 in Minneapolis. WWE, book it. Like right now, I'm insisting upon it because I don't think you're going to be disappointed when, I'm sure Obafemi's going to earn Roman's respect, whether it's in victory or defeat. But I think Obafemi's going to have the rocket fully strapped to him and he's going to get shot to the moon. He is that good, I think, and so fearless, and I like him enormously. And his strut's pretty damn cool, too. Now, I sang the praises of one. You might hate me for ripping this guy, but this is the big one. Yeah. Keanu Carver. I want to like you. I do. But you are a big, massive, disrespectful motherfucker.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Oh yeah, shots fired. All right. Let's face it, Keanu Carver. I don't know where the hell you came from. I'm sure you have experience in the indie scene and that sort of thing. You come to Evolve, and believe me, I want to like you. I do. Strong, athletic, clearly talented. But the attitude is it's turning me off so bad. You first major mistake you do, you blow off an interviewer. I think it was Sarah Schreiber. You walk out of an interview. That's another mistake you made. You are not Marshawn Lynch. Sorry. You should have just said, I'm only doing this interview so Shawn Michaels doesn't find me. That would have made more sense. And you know what? I would have been left at that. When NXT went to Houston, you come out and you act like a disrespectful piece of shit. You're telling the crowd to shut up. You basically are disrespecting a two-time WWE Hall of Famer, Booker T. You do not disrespect that man. You do not. That man has contributed more to the wrestling industry than your sorry ass ever will. Okay? To me, that made you come across as a punk ass bitch. All right? Let's get one thing very clear, Keanu Carver. You may be athletic, talented, and you're very good in the ring, but you're also a very disrespectful piece of shit. You don't disrespect a legend, like I said. You also do not keep smashing someone's face in with your forearm like you did last week against Joe Hendry, you sack of shit. You just didn't stop. You refused to stop. Joe Hendry is a former NXT champion, you son of a bitch. You don't do that. I don't care if you don't like him. I don't care if you don't respect him. When the referee says stop, he means stop. That's why the match had to end in a referee stoppage. You're doing all this shit, and Jesus Christ. I would love to see one of Booker's proteges, Jasper Troy, knock you on your ass and hang you over the ring with one of the chains he likes to carry to the ring around your fucking neck. Just let's face it. Your disrespectfulness towards various people, where this Sarah Schreiber, an interviewer, Joe Hendry, former NXT champion, or Booker T. That's the cardinal sin right there. That's the biggest mistake you've made so far. Disrespecting Booker T. Bitch, Booker T has proteges that would beat your ass. It's not just Jasper Troy from from WWE LFG. It's not just him. It's others. It's other people. There are proteges out there. I mean, shit. Even some of the women that Booker T mentored, like Roxanne Perez, for example, she would not be afraid of you. That woman is fearless. She would look at you and be like, asshole. She's not afraid of you. No one is afraid of you. Booker T is not afraid of you. What do I get now? Oh, Lala. Ooh, let me find my edges, girl. Let me find my edges. This Rita's Vicious has me. Oh, excuse me. God damn. Keanu Carver. You better watch yourself. You're going to get your ass kicked. I mean, and if you keep up this disrespectful bullshit, I don't know if you are acting like this in real life. I hope to God you are not. You keep this up, dude, you're going to be out of WWE like that. I guarantee it. So quit being a fucking disrespectful bitch. That's all I have to say about that. Oh, goddamn. Woo! That was nuts. That was nuts. First of all, I want to thank everyone for watching. I got to get back up here to the banners and stuff. Oh, yeah. Ticker. There's your ticker right there. Thank you to the 157 people watching me live. Thank you so much for all of that. You check out the show, the network, me. Of course, you follow Between the Ropes, add BTRETB on social media platforms. Oh my God, we went up to 158. What did I get this time? Lala. Now, if WWE is really smart, they need to add Zillafat too. Do we really need someone else from the Anawahi family in there? There's no question he's good. There's no question he's good. But I would like to see Zilla Fatu beat Keanu Carver's ass and just leave it at that. But again, follow BTR at BTRETB on all social media. And of course, youtube.com/ETB network. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on everything. Like I said, Nick Morganson and Callum McClure's interview with Alan Shipnick is on our channel. You can check out Zan Zinger's part 2 tomorrow. He's got a lot to talk about. It's going to be, and there's more stuff coming up, like unnecessary wagers, noteworthy in the NCAA. We got new stuff coming up. If you watched, thank you, Lala. But you get back over here. Of course, get the new shows coming up that were announced Thursday during the draft show. Fight IQ, hosted by Tom Albano, May 11th, and Callan's Cranium, easy for me to say, debuting May 12th, hosted by my friend Callum McClure. So thank you everyone for watching. Everyone, all 158, 159 people watching me live, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you folks next week with a brand new episode of Between the Ropes. See ya.